All right, well, let's jump in, and so we can show you what we have to offer you here for done-for-you lead generation. Before we get started, if you would, just let me know if you are already using LinkedIn for lead generation. It looks like a number of you are, and some, but most are not. So let's jump into the presentation here. Here are the three things that you're going to learn today. Why LinkedIn for lead generation? Why should you be interested in using LinkedIn? Now, we've been doing this for going on 3 years, and I'm going to show you why you should. So that's one thing you're going to learn today, that in fact, LinkedIn is the #1 place to be doing B2B lead generation. The second thing is, what are the basic lead generation steps? And the third is, what are your done-for-you solution options that we're going to offer you today? And we have several new ones. Okay, now let me introduce myself quickly for those of you who do not know me. I'm a global LinkedIn expert and trainer. I've been in a lot of different startups in a lot of different industries. This is a picture from my profile inside of LinkedIn, and I've achieved a #1 rank for LinkedIn lead generation within my network using principles that you learn in our LinkBot Academy. And I've also appeared on page 1 of Google for LinkedIn lead generation expert as well. So obviously I understand how to use SEO in relation to LinkedIn to outrank your competition and to get more leads by just having people find you inside of LinkedIn and outside. We've got some illustrious customers over the years, like Michael Gerber, #1 small business guru according to Inc. magazine, even Tim Brown, NFL Hall of Fame, and also Heisman Trophy winner as well. I met Tim personally up in Nashville last year. So why is LinkedIn the best B2B lead generation platform on earth? Well, it has over 500 million users in 200 plus countries worldwide, continues to grow. It was purchased by Microsoft more than a year ago, probably going on 2 years now, for $26 billion. So it is the #1 spot, and obviously Microsoft placed a huge bet to ensure that it continues to hold that spot as well. But there's been a number of other studies out there. I'm going to sort of run through these because they all say the same thing, which is LinkedIn is the #1 B2B lead source, and it's the best lead source. According to a demand wave study, it's #1 in terms of being the most productive lead source. 80% of B2B leads coming from LinkedIn, according to this Kissmetrics study. #1 most used lead channel. 92% of B2B marketers use LinkedIn. Again, demand wave. A Content Marketing Institute study found that it was the most effective lead source for social media lead generation. The best at driving lead traffic, with 46% of all traffic to corporate websites coming from social media. This is through a Replicon study. It's got 11 times better lead response rate. Again, according to a Replicon study, I'm talking about the utilization of LinkedIn messages inside of LinkedIn. So what kind of results should you expect? Well, I'm going to show you that the leads that are generated through LinkedIn will email you. Here's an example of that. They will book meetings with you on your calendar. Everybody wants a full calendar. Here's an example using Calendly of a meeting that was set up through that. And here are the messages that come out through Calendly to your email, showing that you've got a calendar, appointment booked. They'll also send you messages inside of LinkedIn, and those messages will show up in your inbox, in your email as well. And people will have a conversation. You can build a relationship, build trust, qualify people as prospects, and then ultimately get them to even call you and have a meeting with you. Okay, so how do you generate leads from LinkedIn? That's the second thing that I told you we'd talk about today, is how do you generate leads from LinkedIn? Well, I'm going to give you a quick overview of this, because this ultimately is really about done-for-you solutions, which we're going to offer here in just a moment. The starting point is creating a targeted search, identifying, looking at your ideal prospects, either your ideal customers, or if you don't have any customers, who are you targeting on LinkedIn? It has 147 different industries, hundreds of different job titles, has a lot of different filters inside of it. So you start by creating a targeted search of second and third degree generation connections, and you can also target prospects inside of groups. So one of the key recommendations is you always join groups that are most likely to contain your ideal prospects, because you can search inside the networks that exist inside of those groups and add them to the network that you have yourself to find your leads. So create your target search, then you send a custom connection invitation, and by custom I mean, there's a scale of custom. If on one end of the scale is a very customized, you look at their profile, you reference something that they're saying in their profile, maybe where they went to school, what industry they're in, maybe a post they have on it, what job, what company they work with, or you can simply at the other end of the scale just customize it with their name. You can come up with there's only 300 characters, sort of a generic template that's designed to do one thing, and that's to get them to connect to you. You're not trying to sell them. You're not trying to wow them. You simply want to connect with them, and you definitely want to use their name in that customization. Once they've connected to you, then you send a question message on LinkedIn. Okay, now you have more than 300 characters. But the follow-up message when they connect with you is designed with a question to get them to respond. Because again, what are you trying to do on a social media networking platform? You're trying to get them to respond, to start to build a relationship, to build some trust in you by looking at your profile and looking at the communications that are going on between you. So you start out by sending a question message on LinkedIn, which are free once they're a first level connection. Then you reply to any responses. The replies could be, let's meet. How about next Tuesday, or how about tomorrow? Here's my phone number. Here's my email. Or here's my calendar. They may also just pick up the phone and call you because you've got your contact information, or send you an email separately, or they may send you a response immediately because you've reached out to connect with them. You want to reply to these responses. In addition to being hot leads like let's meet, they could be a warm lead, which is more of a question. They may respond by asking you a question about your business, about your profile, or be a more generic question, again, trying to build a relationship with you, because this is a networking platform. It could be just what we call in-discussion leads, where they're pleasantries, just the same as if you were in front of them at a networking event. They're just talking to you because you're on a networking platform, okay? So, but you want to reply to them to continue that conversation, because now you have them live. And LinkedIn's taking, in the recent past has introduced new features where their messaging system is more live. I mean, you can have live conversations just the same way as if you're on Facebook Messenger inside of LinkedIn as well. So you reply to those responses. Now, not everybody's active on LinkedIn, and we're going to look at their message center here in just a moment to talk about the issues that you have by utilizing the message center to manage your lead generation. But not everybody's active all the time on LinkedIn. They just may simply miss your message, even if they are. So what you want to do is you want to take their email that you have access to 99% of the time once they connect with you, and you want to export those emails, and you want to send out a series of emails, again, that are question related, trying to ultimately get on the phone with them, to build a relationship, get on the phone for a short discovery call. And when you have those short discovery calls, when you book those meetings with the qualified prospects, you want to start out, it's real simple. Because a lot of people ask, well, what do I say, Jeff, when I have a call like this? If there's somebody I've never met, I've just looked at their profile, they've agreed to meet with me, talk with me a few minutes, what do I say? The first question out of your mouth after you introduce yourself is say, well, why don't we start by having you tell me about your business? That's the starting point. Tell me about your business. Because their response to that is going to tell you a world of information about what they're doing, how they're doing it, how it's going, what maybe some of their challenges, maybe some of their successes. And you can follow up that question once they answer that with, well, tell me about this. Have you tried that? And those type of questions are oriented towards whatever the solution is that you're offering and the reason why you targeted them in the first place. What are you doing about X? And X is a problem that you have a solution for. Okay, so again, you're trying to now narrow the conversation towards, do you have a problem that I can help you with? Okay, so those are the first two questions, and you just take it from there based on that. The conversation could be 5 minutes to 15 minutes. It may turn into an hour if you really have a qualified prospect. They have the time, you have the time, and they are qualifying themselves by addressing the issue that, in fact, they are a prospect for whatever your solution is. You want to reply to those responses when they come into your inbox, whether you're sending them out of your Gmail or Outlook, or we recommend sending them from a actually drip marketing, email marketing, automated marketing campaign platform. The replies will come in. Again, you're building a relationship. You're trying to qualify them. You want to book meetings with the prospects as the next step. And finally, you're coming to the close. Okay. Whatever your sales process is, whatever the sales process timeline is. So those are the key LinkedIn lead generation steps. Now, how do you manage all these leads? Because depending upon how much activity you're doing, and I'm going to show you what we do for you here in just a moment, but depending upon how much time and effort you're putting into this, or you're paying somebody else to do, it will generate hundreds of leads a month. Hundreds of leads, lots of conversations going on. So how do you manage all of this? Because this is what it looks like inside the LinkedIn Messaging Center. Okay, all of the new leads come in here at the top. The most recent responses are coming in here. Anytime that someone connects with you, that will show up inside your messaging center as well with just a connection, showing the connection invitation that you sent out and showing that that individual is now connected to you. So the problem with this is not really a CRM. I mean, you can search for messages, but you have to then remember who all of these conversations are with, because all of the old messages fall below the fold. And so you have to go in and use the search unless you want to try, scrolling back down, trying to locate it. So this is not a CRM. It doesn't have an effective interface. Now, LinkedIn will sell you Sales Navigator. It has some premium features, but it's not a CRM either. It's really an add-on to LinkedIn, but it's not built to be a CRM. And why is that? Well, they have relationships with Salesforce. Microsoft has its own CRM. So, of course, they're trying to sell you something else, which you may or may not need. What we do in order to manage this is we manually track and score leads for our clients, which means that we go into LinkedIn, we track our way through each time a team member comes in. They know which message they left off last, whether it was yesterday or last week. We work 5 days a week. And so they're tracking their way through this message center, and they're gathering the information, the date connected, first and last name, email, phone number. They also grab a link to the profile, and they'll grab a link to any reply in the message center. So even if you had started a conversation 3 months ago, and it'd be nearly impossible to locate it inside the LinkedIn message center, that reply message link that goes to the message center is right there in the tracking system. Now, in addition to that, they score the leads by reading the replies. We talked about hot, meaning they want to talk to you. Warm is, I have a question that I need you to answer. And in discussion is, we just met on this networking platform, and I'm just talking to you. I'm not asking you a question. I haven't talked about meeting, but I am talking to you. So that's an in-discussion lead. So we manually track and score all these leads in our operational system, and then what we do is we zap these leads to Nimble. Okay, we are a premier partner with Nimble. We'll actually be, we were just on a webinar talking to all of their thousands of resellers around the world, and we're going to be added to their Nimble marketplace coming up here in June. They're going through a website revision. And they love us, and the reason why we are a partner with Nimble and why we're going to be featured on their website is because we are the only lead generation resource that they have. If you go to Nimble and look at their marketplace, there's a lot of well-known names that you'll see on there. Will be added to that soon. So we zap these leads using Zapier to Nimble so that all of this information that's coming from our tracking system, which is really an operational system, is going to show up here as contacts with all of the information that's been gathered inside of LinkedIn. The tracking, the scoring, if this is a hot lead, that will show up as well. Then you as the client can manage any of the rest of the details, and whenever there's a reply, we're actually putting the reply itself into your history, your communications history with that lead. And then if you want to go to the reply, you simply go into LinkedIn, and then you can reply inside of LinkedIn. Any kind of email replies that are coming from the email marketing that we do on your behalf, and we'll talk more about that in just a moment, those replies associated with these leads will then show up in the history of communications as well. Okay? So how do you get started? Okay? Well, you can spend hours to do it yourself manually. And that's how originally I started learning how to do this. And to do it at scale. Now you could spend 10 minutes doing it, 10 minutes every other day, but you're going to get 10 minutes worth of results. To get effective volumes of leads within the limits that LinkedIn sort of keeps you focused on, staying under, you're going to have to spend hours to do it yourself manually, because you have to know what to do. You have to keep up with what changes are going on inside of LinkedIn with their interfaces, their rules, policies, etc. You can spend hours to do it yourself manually, or you could let us do it for you. And so I'm going to introduce, for those of you who are not aware, of the LinkBot social selling system. Okay? Now before I show you what your options are, let's look at what some of our customers are saying. These are our done-for-you customers. Over the past couple of years, Jeff is a CEO of a U.S. air charter company, generated at least $20,000 each for a couple of customers he identified within the first couple of weeks. Vidar, who runs a UK DevOps consulting firm, he saw within the first couple of weeks more qualified leads than he had gotten from a cold calling campaign that was over a 2-month period. Brad was able to generate $70,000 worth of business, representing 10 sales that were closed just in the first few weeks of getting the program going. Ermina was able to close a sale for $7,500 that was generated solely from follow-up email campaigns. That's why you want to follow up. And that's what we do for our clients. Phil was able to generate 1,400 highly qualified warm leads through our efforts. Kathy got a couple of great leads within the first 48 hours. Julie was getting people, she's in the UK, and she's a business coach with her partner Jan, and she was able to get people to, and she had a very narrowly focused search in the region of the UK where she's located, and was able to get a few people that were agreeing to meet with her, actually in person, I believe, or some of them were in person, just coming from the messaging inside LinkedIn. Brenda had great results with insurance targets, and Darian, who also runs a U.S. marketing agency, had so many responses coming from our efforts that he had to hire a VA just to manage his calendar. So here are your options. Okay, now in the promotion for this webinar, I talked about starting at as little as $97. I'm going to explain the difference between all these options as we go through. The $97 option is not completely manual, because now you have automated software to perform 3 key LinkedIn lead generation tasks on your behalf, okay, so that you don't have to do it. And this is where the volume of work actually takes place. So with this, the $97 a month includes the LinkBot Pro extension downloaded from the Chrome Web Store. Okay. In order to order this, you go to linkbot.io. What will happen when you go to that website and you place this order is that you'll be able to run the LinkBot Pro software in your Chrome browser. You will basically go in, you will open up LinkedIn, log into your account, create your search, your target search, and LinkBot will operate from that search. It will go through that search, and it's either going to just simply visit the profiles, which is task number one. It can visit hundreds of profiles, and hundreds of people will visit your profile in return, because LinkedIn tells people that, hey, these are the people that have visited your profile, and 8 to 12% of them will come back and visit your profile and take a look at what you have to offer. And if you've targeted your search correctly, that means your targeted prospects are looking at your offer on your profile. Task number two is that it can send 1,000 plus custom connection invitations to grow your list. Okay, because you can put in a custom invitation that can include their name and some other tokens as well, like industry or a few other things. So you can customize a little bit according to the profile that you're targeting. You create your search, LinkBot will go through that search and send the connection invitation as long as your LinkedIn allows you to. Okay, and what I mean by that is if it's a first level connection, obviously they're already connected, and third level connections, a lot of times you cannot send a connection invitation to them. Okay, so, but it will go in and perform that function for you. And then finally, task number three is that you can send hundreds of custom messages to your first level connections for free inside of LinkedIn using LinkBot. And again, you can customize them by putting your name in, or putting their name in, I should say. Now with this $97 a month subscription, you get FAQs, support emails to our support team. And we have the LinkBot LinkedIn Training Academy is also included, which walks you through all the steps associated with how to use the software itself and also how to generate leads on LinkedIn. Starting with optimizing your profile, how to create a search inside of LinkedIn, all the things that are necessary to do this, you'll learn with our free training inside of the LinkedIn Training Academy. Okay, now for those of you who are looking for more help in terms of the done-for-you packages and pricing, we have 4 other packages. The first is our bronze package. Now, with this package, you don't have to purchase the LinkBot software and install it in your Chrome browser. We're actually going to make use of LinkBot Cloud, okay, where it does not involve you having to go to the Chrome store and make a purchase and install anything. We're just going to operate LinkBot for you on your behalf inside the cloud. The LinkedIn training is still included. You won't need to bother with the software training because we're going to be operating the software for you. Now, for $197 a month, you're going to manage the searches. Okay, and we have training, as I mentioned, inside of the LinkedIn LinkBot Training Academy. We have training on how to create a search, and you can always send a question in to our support team, and they'll be happy to help you with your searches. And when you purchase any of these 4 packages, you'll be taken to a thank you page, and one of the segments of that thank you page is a short questionnaire, and we're going to ask you what are the top 3 industries. There are 147 industries inside of LinkedIn. What are the top 3 that you want to target, and what are the top 3 job titles that you want to target? And that's really all you have to know to create a search. So we'll ask you that to get started, and then anytime you want to make a change to that, you simply change it and notify our team, support team, hey, I've changed my search, or if your search runs out, then we'll contact you to let you know, hey, you need to create a new search. And again, they'll be there to help you as well. We will send out 1,000 custom invitations on your behalf over that 30-day period. You will send any LinkedIn messages. So if you want to follow up the connection with all the connections that show up in your account inside your message center, you can just go ahead and have a message ready to go, copy and paste it, make sure it's not over 300 characters, put their name into it, and off you go inside the LinkedIn system. So you send any LinkedIn messages and you'll reply to any replies to your messages. You will track and score your leads. We actually have training inside of the LinkedIn Bot Training Academy. We have a copy of the tracking system that's available, and we also show you how to actually get the leads directly from LinkedIn and put it into Nimble as well. Now, Nimble is not included with this purchase. We are a partner. There is a link available to you to go ahead and purchase Nimble, and there's training. Nimble has tons of training about how to use the #1 small and medium-sized business CRM on the market. They've just recently become a partner with Microsoft, and they're now integrated with Outlook. So they are, we think, the premier partner for us to be partnered with in that regard. So you can either go ahead and take the copy of the tracking system that I showed you and put leads there. You can use Zapier to move the leads between our tracking system and Nimble, or you can copy things directly into Nimble if you so choose. And we'll talk to you about training on how to track and score everything and how to put it into Nimble as well. And then you send follow-up emails. For those people who do not connect, you would take their emails, you can send them from Nimble. That allows you to do that. And we are also partnered with 366 Degrees, which is a Nimble partner, and 366 Degrees allows you to create campaigns that you can assign your Nimble contacts to. Nimble has transactional emails. You can send one email at a time. Now, you can send a group email to every CEO that's in your contact list. You could create tags inside of Nimble you could send an email to everybody that you that connected on a certain day, or all your CEOs, whatever you want to do. There's ways of doing it inside of Nimble, except creating campaigns, and 366 Degrees is the partner for that. The next step up for $297 a month, again, includes, it's basically LinkBot Pro, Done For You Pro, and Done For You Bronze. Silver, again, includes the LinkBot Cloud, so you don't have to download or purchase anything from the Google Chrome Web Store. All the LinkedIn training is included again. You manage searches, but we're now going to send 1,200 custom invitations on your behalf each month, which is going to end up generating more leads and more activity for you. Again, you send LinkedIn messages, so you would send a thank you message, you send the question message, you do all the follow-up on that behalf. In this case, for $297 a month, now we're going to do the tracking for you. So we're going to go into your account, and we're going to grab all the new connections in the manner that I talked about, and we're going to put them into the tracking system. And if you purchase Nimble, which is $25 a month, we're going to copy leads into Nimble. Okay, so you won't even have to look at that tracking system. The leads will be put directly into your Nimble account, and Nimble shows you what new contacts you have today. When you first sign on to it, they pop up and say, okay, here are all the leads added today. Now, you would score the leads, so you'll have to look at the replies, which we're going to put the replies into your Nimble account the way I showed you, and then you would score the leads as hot, warm, in discussion, not interested, or any other kind of custom tag that you want to associate with that. And again, finally, you send the follow-up emails. Okay, so you would send the follow-up emails to people that aren't responding inside of LinkedIn, or if you're just having a quarterly campaign or some other campaign using email to get their attention and move them further into the sales funnel, you're responsible for sending those follow-up emails yourself. Our gold package adds several key things. First of all, we manage searches. Okay, so in this case now, you're no longer responsible for creating the searches, and when the searches run out, creating new ones to replace them. We will manage that. Okay, we do it through our support team and primarily through email. We are going to send out 1,400 custom invitations now instead of 1,200, so additional 200, which will generate more leads for you. We're going to send the LinkedIn message on your behalf. Okay, so you're no longer responsible for that question message and follow up to the connection, but you are responsible for replies. Okay, so when they reply, you're responsible for replying to that. We will track and score your leads now. Unlike with the silver where we track and you score, we're going to track and score your leads. And we will copy the leads to Nimble, okay, on your behalf. so that all your tracking and scoring, all the information is going to show up inside your Nimble account where you can easily manage it. And with this, you still send follow-up emails. You're responsible for any follow-up emails that are being sent out through Nimble, through 366 degrees. And, we have, on occasion, we can also connect this to other systems like HubSpot or Salesforce, just in case you already have those. A lot of times we do have people that have, for instance, Salesforce, but they don't really use it a lot, and it's much easier to use Nimble. So for $25 a month, they just tack that on. And finally, our Platinum package, LinkBot Cloud included, LinkedIn training included. We manage searches. You get 1,600 custom invitations sent on your behalf. We will send the LinkedIn question message to stimulate a response from them after they connect. You are still responsible for any replies. We will track and score your leads inside of our system. We will copy your leads to Nimble, as we've talked about. And finally, we will send the follow-up emails. We have a very effective campaign that you'll read all about on the website linkedbot.io/new-DFY. You'll see some examples of the open rates. We have open rates from 40 to 60% and reply rates of 5 to 10% with our emails. And we have very effective replies and connection percentages that you'll read about as well on that website for the LinkedIn messages that we send. So those are the 4 done-for-you packages and prices that don't involve you having to utilize the software. Starting at $197, going all the way up to $797. This explains the differences between all 4, and you'll find all of this information at linkbot.io/new-DFY. Okay, so let me ask now if there are any questions that you may have asked. I'll take a look at the question box, and if I haven't answered anything, go ahead and put that in there now. I'll be happy to answer it, and then we'll finish this up. What if we're currently using a different CRM? That's fine, Ren. As long as we can connect to it via Zapier, we can move all the information to anything, or you can. If you're doing it, if you're using the $97 version of the automated software, you can use Zapier. As long as Zapier can connect to that, you can do it. And, ultimately, you can export the leads from our tracking system and import them into any CRM. So that you definitely can do as well. How much is $366 a month, Brad? I think it's $49, okay, through our special link. So that, again, gives you, and I think they will set up the first campaign. Using our link, they will set up your first campaign for you. How about reselling it to my clients? We do have a white label resale offer for that, Brad, so you should contact us about that. NetSuite, I'm not completely familiar with that one offhand, Ren, but again, you can either export the leads from the tracking system as a CSV file and import it into anything, I would guess, including NetSuite, or as long as Zapier can connect that for you, then we can do that as well. Can you put the sign up link in the question box? I am driving, says Kelvin. Okay. All right. Give me just a second and I will do that. I'll send it to everybody. And that is...
Jeff, can I say something about the CRM?
Yeah, you go ahead, Dave.
Any CRM that uses import and export with a CSV file will work. It's just a mapping scenario that needs to take place. So anything that will upload and download using a CSV file will work with Nimble, absolutely.
Okay, I didn't want everybody listening to me typing while I was doing that. All right, so thanks for jumping in there, David. And are there any final questions? Because we're at the end of this presentation. It was short. Again, go to, for our done for you packages and prices, and on our website again, also is a phone number, 1-833-LINKBOT, LINKBOT. You can also call and speak with David if you have questions that you don't see the answers to. We have a chat bot on our website as well. And these are the 4 different packages, starting at $197 for bronze, silver's $297, gold $497, and platinum is $797. And then if you're on a budget, then you can order our $97 a month LinkBot Pro software. Download it from the Chrome Web Store. The purchase will be completed through the Chrome Web Store, and then you'll have to install it in your Chrome browser. And again, this will help you visit profiles, send custom connection invitations, and send custom messages to your first level connections. Okay, and just go to linkbot.io to find out more about that. All right, Kelvin, fantastic. Says that thanks, this is awesome. Ren says thanks. And unless there are any final questions, then I'm going to sign off. And listen, every business needs leads. And if you don't have enough leads, then you should be generating leads through LinkedIn. And we know how to do it. We've had hundreds of customers we've provided service for over the last 2 to 3 years since we started this up. And, we know what we're doing. The reason why we have actually reduced prices and have these reduced prices is because we just recently created and launched LinkBot software. So it's given us some efficiencies on our side, and so we decided to bring the price down for some of our services to make it more affordable for those of you who are just getting started. But for those of you, depending upon the level of activity, the involvement that you want to have, you've got choices between $197 to $797. So again, 1-833-LINKBOT, LINKBOT. I don't remember what those numbers are off the top of my head. That's why I use 1-833-LINKBOT, so I wouldn't have to. And we look forward to serving you. And if you're looking at offering this to any of your clients, then call David at that number, and we'll talk to you about that as well. Thanks for your time. Hold on a second here. Dave is asking me a question. All right. So Dave is asking, what about LinkedIn's terms and conditions that prohibit third parties from using your LinkedIn account? That's very true, Dave. That is definitely part of their terms and conditions. I think that you will see that there are very prominent people, including myself, on LinkedIn that are offering services to assist clients. We have a special strategy that we've been pursuing for over a year that basically means LinkedIn can't detect that we're doing something on your behalf. But if you're concerned about that, using LastPass, the LastPass system, which is a password manager, there's a way of using LastPass so you share your password with us without us actually knowing what it is, okay? And we can help you set that up. So there are a number of people out there providing done-for-you services that obviously access people's accounts. That is, but I'm not going to deny that is part of their terms and conditions, but as long as you're using LinkedIn responsibly and you're not trying to turn into a spam factory and that we know exactly what we can and can't do, you shouldn't have any problems with that. Okay. Again, thanks for your time. If you got any further questions, send them those questions to support@linkbot.io, or give us a call at 1-833-LINKBOT. And I hope you have a good day, and I look forward to bringing you on board in whatever capacity you choose to start generating B2B leads from LinkedIn.